Okay. There we go. Okay. Should work fine. Okay. So, hello. How you doing? This is a tough stream to start today because I have not really made any progress because of other things. Played games last weekend, which was nice. I might do that again soon. Now I'm almost set up for that. If I can just figure out the rat's nest that is cabling. I wanted to get back to my regular stuff, but I'm not quite sure what I'm doing right this second. Um, I got this kind of working last week where I'm in an anonymous tab, so that's why that isn't opening there. But I got this, so it shows a yellow indicator if there's multiple branches and they differ in state. If they were all green, it'd be green. If they were all red, it'd be red. Because they differ in state, it's yellow. What I was trying to do last week was get this branch to indicate merged. Oh no, uh, deleted. A branch deleted. So I think I tried to get this branch deleted last week. So GitHub events. So we had vary two branches, GitHub branch deleted. So we got the GitHub event publishing, but then on the data side, oh, there, the camera's there. So let's wait for this to wake up. So vary two branches last updated, but it's deleted at is empty. So we clearly got the deleted event. Actually, let's go back to that a second. Let's get that the offset of that message. Offset 36. So if we go to consumer groups, actually we stop running. So this could be a writing unit tests stream based upon how this goes, because I haven't written any unit tests on this baby yet, but it's starting to get a little bit more complicated. So the GitHub events receiver receives branch deleted. That's what we care about. In here, we want to get the active task branch by name, and where it's deleted at is null. We then want to mark it as deleted and we update it. So the idea is this mark is deleted, should update any fields that we need to update. Deleted at should be the UTC of that. And we don't have it, we don't track a user at this point, so there's no point in that field. Let's do that. I'm trying to take the deleted at that was sent in from the actual thing. So let's go there. Let's go there. So now that should have taken its time to shut down. And if we go up here, yeah, they're all shut down. So the tasks integration, because the tasks receivers are there. And if we reset to group offset, so let's do this. Shift by -2. Right, so offset after. Let's go shift by -3. Let's process 35 as well. Well, actually, hold on. Let's make sure we're not seeing them differently. So the GitHub events 37, 32. So 35 is pull request opened. 37 is pull request closed, and 36 is branch deleted. That's why. Hi Podvig, how you doing? That's why. I need to just do. I can't do this. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. The events are gonna come and it's gonna reopen the thing that's just changed potentially. So I can't get a branch. I need to process just 36, but 37, your local host in CI. I'm developing. An hour. Oof. Right now, I'm not. I have, as far as CI goes, I have GitHub Actions that run unit tests on production on push, but this is a development project, so uh, is this the project? The project I'm working on is Kaizu, which is this project. Localhost 8080 is Red Panda, or the dashboard for Red Panda, which is a Kafka tool. This guy tasks. Yeah, not view task integration. I tempting. Ah, to claim the last. This is not going to go well though, because this is. Oh, hang on. Yeah, it's an OBS bot camera, and if it loses its mind, let's see if I give it some light. It'll help. It tracks me, so if I start moving around too much, it yeah. There you go. It looks like it's no, it's still figuring out. Come on. There you go. Oh, I wonder if, let's do it this way. Let's do reset this latest. No lag. Let's repush the deleted event. Let's see if I have the deleted event to deal with from the other side. So I need to make a note of this. Why can I make a note of this? Aspire. I do the delete again 11 days ago. That's the branch I want to delete. Run that up again. So the GitHub receivers, nowhere in here will it deal with the idea of um, delete. So yeah. And if you are new to the stream, if you have any questions, thoughts, opinions on what I'm doing, you're more than welcome to share. Doesn't matter whether you feel you have a grasp on what I'm doing. I will happily discuss what I am actually working on. Um, if you want an introduction, let me know. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to refire the GitHub event to push that delete through. Let's see if we can get that delete to hit on that delete branch workflow. Yeah. So here we go. Actually, this should be a handler at this point. This should not be a workflow as such. You deliver this payload. Oh, idempotency. Nine B. I think that'll be prevented from. That might be prevented from hitting because of idempotency. GitHub. Let's see if we get here. No. Oh, is that the one that triggers it? Oh, it's the push. It won't receive the delete event anymore. Okay, that's it. Okay, so then we get to here. Yeah, and the branch, the ref should be. Yeah, okay, so that's going to hit there. Let's let that run through. Ah, okay, did we get the branch? Yes, we do. Mark is deleted. Update. Okay. Did it update as deleted though? Task branches. Yeah, okay, it published as deleted. Oh, that looks like something changes. Changed. Okay, so that was deleted now. So then we refresh that and two branches. Why is that still there? Oh, shouldn't it have been that one that closed? Very three, let's see. Hold on. Oh yeah, we marked that one as closed. Oh, got a feeling that an event from the other day caught up with me. This is the problem with pushing events out of sequence. Is I could end up with um, the wrong um, events. Uh, that was the delete. The Swan I just verified that it was that one that it said it was going to delete. That one is a deleted branch as well. Push deleted true. Uh, Pository. I can't share what I'm looking at because it would share keys that I don't want to show. Oh yeah, there we go. I see the so I'm seeing the ref of Very 3. Let's see. So it did close the right PR there. The one I just pushed was correct, but I could have sworn I deleted this one as well. So what we should see in here is we should have seen a topic, GitHub events. Yeah, that's today. So very 3. Let's see close PRs, headers, GitHub branch deleted. So it behaved as it should do. Just a little bit confused as to why. Topics, GitHub events. Okay. Now, this behavior is incorrect. So if it's a closed PR and we delete the branch, okay, I get it. We can remove it. But I think we should show deleted merge because if we delete a branch after we've merged it, the merge branch should still show. Do we track merge that? First observed. We track the state. Oh, well, that's not good. This particular project, this particular path has been one of the more complicated paths of Kaizu. Um, I am definitely trying to fit a lot more behavior into my head in one go than I would normally do. So this is a good test of how it works. It is an indicator of the complexity, the somewhat unnecessary complexity of the application because if I was developing this as a solo dev and I was developing this the way that a normal solo dev would do it, then I would probably have most of this code. Well, there would be less code for this particular task, um, but it would whatever code there was would be closer together. Um, because of the distributed nature of it, it means that I'm having to get many moving parts. What I'm trying to figure out right this second is the workflow is not difficult, right? So we have a GitHub event produced from here. This is working just fine. In this particular case, I was trying to push the GitHub branch, the deleted event, back out to the webhook. The deleted event isn't actually what's processed here; it's the push event. So any push will and the way this way, if we haven't seen this branch before, we didn't get the created event previously, we'll know, oh, we can create it because we've got the pushed workflow. Uh, so that's why that, and I'm not doing created and deleted events separately because if they because they both come along at the same time, so I'd have to debounce one of them, and I can't guarantee the order in which they come. So it's just more beneficial to use the push event. Process the pull request. So from this side, it's a pretty simple path through. This basically just says, okay, well, we deleted the workflow, we deleted the branch, publish the GitHub branch deleted event. Right. From the other side, the events receiver, again, pretty simple overall. It's receiving these events into this receiver and processing them. These will be uh, uh, processed serially. So yeah, if I get a created and then I get deleted, I'm going to delete the. I'm going to create it and delete it. If I get deleted and I don't have it, I'm not going to worry about it. And I get created, I'm going to create it, which is going to be a problem. But that's a an ordering problem for later. Uh, Phil Stammel, oh, hello, how you doing? So when we register the branch, we try and get the map name. We try and find the reference. We register the branch. It's interesting. Recently learned the modern meaning of DevOps. It means developers do ops. Product owners now ship code and want devs to run the ops for it. Ah, gotcha. Are you actually in one of the organizations where product owners are trying to do the vibe coding? Oh my god, that's terrifying. It's a terrifying concept. Wow, that is a terrifying, terrifying concept. Running on .NET and SQL Server with Angular front end, the first vibe coded app is using Postgres, Supabase, and React. Oh, that's that's awful. That is awful. That is that is just. I don't. So how long before you are actually the one trying to fix the problems with it because they don't understand uh, actually what's wrong? So what I was going to say when you said the whole DevOps thing before the vibe coding thing was we identified that DevOps was a good idea as a separate team to be able to handle these things so that developers could get on with developing. And integrated DevOps was pretty much the right way to do it. But then organizations took over and made teams out of DevOps, which separated them, which made them ivory tower stuff again, which then meant that the developers had to take ownership of it again to be able to do it quickly. Um, they also continue to do new development, but I will have to deal with product issues and bug fixes. Wow. I I don't know what to say there. If I get myself into that situation, I know I know what I won't be a developer anymore. That's for certain. Because, ouch. Sorry, I'm just trying to check something for my wife. That's that's rough. I am very sorry for you there. Uh, it's a scary world that we've gone into these last couple of years, where we are now. Even that's an idea. Yeah, that terrifies me. So I'm trying to just do something quick. Okay. Um, yeah. Let's start getting this naming lined up properly. So branch. Like I've been going through. I've been building out my game stack library tool, and I've enjoyed the fact that I can just get stuff done on it by just having AI do it for me. It's doing pretty much what I want it to do, but I haven't reviewed the code. Some of that's deliberate. It's working, and that's what scares me the most. Is the nuanced behavior, the things it does that I don't see or understand, um, the assumptions it makes about how certain things should be done, and also doing that way. I just feel like I've not really achieved very much of it. It feels like it does not feel like an achievement building the site. It just feels like I've got a tool that does exactly what I need to do, and I can move on. So it doesn't distract me from other things, but at the same time, it scares me just how badly it could get it wrong. And it has deleted the database stuff before. It has done all sorts of quirky stuff. Even this, and I have AI stuff for running the migrations and stuff for the database. A couple of weeks ago, it completely screwed everything up and reran um, migrations that shouldn't have been rerun, and I didn't see it until much later. Biggest issue when using AI to help me is that I don't develop internal model how the code works. Yes, and I hate that. I If I start like when I started doing this GitHub stuff, I actually built out a guide using AI on how to do it. And I started following it. And what I realized is I didn't understand what I was building. I was just trying to follow some instructions. And I stopped doing it and started to rebuild it myself so that I got a better handle on it because it left me feeling so detached from the code. I just didn't enjoy it at all. And I didn't feel like I understood the quotes. Dreammonkey, hello, how you doing? Yeah, when I use it, I make sure the contract strictly enforces no DB work and all changes will need to be run manually. For this, I'm okay with some of the DB work. Um, I moved to Postgres, so I'm still stuck on my SQL Server brain still takes over, but I'm finding it useful for getting past that. But this is a project. This is a side project, right? This isn't a production thing. I'm not going to get fired for screwing that up. Um, but I wouldn't trust it outright. Yeah, if everyone uses it that way, all the code will be like it's been written by someone that left the company, so no one will know how things work. Yeah, yeah. I've already seen it. I've already seen it firsthand. And yeah, I feel the same way. I've been asked to review options for AI in our company. I see people getting lazy. Yeah, I want development teams to develop still. I get it. It's much faster to use a tool to do it for you, but at the same time, if you have to fix that or you have to go and dig in and find behavior, it's like reading a legacy code base from scratch every time because it'll change things. Um, it's not good. And I don't care who you are, I don't care how good you think you are, you're not reviewing all that code. No, you're not. Skimming it, maybe, but you're not reviewing it. It produces too much too quickly to review it all. Because if you have to review it all and you have to understand it all, then you might as well have written it yourself. Some say we should be reviewing AI code, but reviewing is hard, and can I trust us to be able to review code if we know it produces that much that quickly? Features that develop so fast, features that would have taken many PRs and many weeks of development are taking an hour or two, and who's reviewing that? My current recommendation is to use it to document and review legacy code, but I'm not good with it writing code because the review process is arguing like, yeah, it's not it's not good. Um, so, but it is the world we live in right this second. You don't need to. You need to verify software now, not review code. Verify how? We've never been the best people to verify software. Surly, hello, how you doing? Yeah, the end user or the QA or the PM or whoever is responsible for handing that product over is normally the people who verify the software does what it does. We are not QA. That's that's the challenge I have there. And I don't like the narrative of we are kind of the guidance or we are the guidance because we again it's producing so much that yeah, yeah. Yes you are. You're specifying and verifying. That's the job now. Hey, not the job I wanted to do though. I still don't understand how we verify. You know? Like I've done this as a job for so long that it is one I enjoy and one I love doing. Software has a purpose, no? That's fine. Still don't agree with the I don't like. Okay, I understand that the job has changed because of this tool, but again, verification is not something we do well. Traditionally, developers do not do a good job of doing that testing thing because it's not what they do. So verifying, what does verifying involve? Are you saying QA? You're avoiding testing as a word there. So verifying, what does verifying be? Depends on what you do. Yeah. Just curious. So like verification from what aspect? Testing, using, stressing, etc. So have you pivoted to doing this? Are you comfortable in this world? So you've been a developer for longer than I have. You're comfortable doing that? You're comfortable with that pivot? Why? Do you not enjoy development? You're not building things anymore. You're orchestrating a machine to put it all together to come out with a result that you didn't have any hand in other than telling it what to do. And if you miss a requirement or you miss something because you, again, now we've got this is why PMs taking over the job of developing makes sense because they understand what they're asking for, or they should understand what they're asking for. So our job is what in that respect? We're disconnecting that skill set from, because we don't understand. I've spent a long time arguing with people over asking for the right requirements, understanding what it is you're trying to build. And developers have never traditionally been the best at doing that. So I'm curious as to how we verify when we're not even the best people for understanding all the requirements up front. An iteration, when the machines can move so fast, is even harder. I've always been a developer who understands what to build and working out requirements. I'm really happy for you because you're the rare one. I've worked with teams for years and I've seen so many missed requirements, so many missed opportunities. An iteration is not something that developers traditionally try to, like, can't get their head around. So they end up with trying to develop everything up front and missing 4 million line of code projects. It's quite difficult to know exactly what software should do. And that's not uncommon, I think. Yes. Small and large. Startup, no. No quick, rapid iteration. For small company and large companies. Branch. Work really, really well when dev understand the problem and can iterate quick, knowing the shape of the thing they want to build. I still, I'm, I'm still, yeah. Um, I still debate that developers understand what they want to build. If you understand what the business does and what it needs to do, then you're in a unique position. All too often, I have users who say crap like, "We need us to export list of account IDs to an Excel spreadsheet so that I can find all the late payments for that day." right, they didn't understand the problem. That's what we've generally done, the analysis to dig in. Developers sometimes just take things at face value. Well, no, most times take things at face value and go off and do it in teams. People think software is abstract nonsense, invoked most loudly for months. This AI stuff, it seems POs are just seeing things that people are amplifying and allowing them blindly. But when the material substance of understanding the system slips beyond the grasp of the POs, which was the case from the start, the damage will be catastrophic when you sit and assess the system. No, Chris. Thank you. I've been listening for about 20 minutes. I'm in the office and YouTube has finally loaded the chat widget. Also on about 5 people and one of the others is our director. I rate more stuff than I fixed. Restream refuses to work anymore. So thank you for letting me know, Chris. I admit I've lost touch with my full code base, but I also see the benefit in going as fast as I have. Without Clanker AI, I would not have been able to get all this out in the time it took. Even though I thought about making a native Android app, let alone making a native iOS app, I would have gone with the cheat code called React Native or Ionic. But also not have been able to completely overhaul my video encoder logic with all its advanced requirements this fast. I know it's not perfectly gets the job done in the end. The biggest challenge you have, Stoney, is you're building something that you might not need or cannot react to the change. That when you get it in front of actual customers, and I know you are one of those things, they are you may have developed more than you need, or you don't have any way of validating. I know in your case, you are the customer and you understand the feature set you're building, but in general, the problem is when we go that fast and we can build a lot of features, people in the organizations that we're talking about generally dream up features without validating that the customer actually needs them or how they'll use them. And that's my fear, is we run so fast that we produce a lot of software that we don't need or don't understand, and then it becomes harder to maintain. Sounds like you're in companies that will really struggle. I don't debate that companies are going to struggle if they switch to this AI model. I still, if my job becomes, hey, machine, someone's generated all this code, please, I'll just sit there and check it, then my job is not a developer anymore. My job is a QA. Where I work, business has been going for 50 years. I guess we're struggling. The company makes money. Right. So one of the things you got to do, Stoney, is make sure you validate your business, right? Make sure you are not building things you think you need, because oftentimes what you think you need and what the market asks for won't always check. So it's making sure you can iterate and get that software built to the actual requirements of the end users, not of yourself. At least have a job doing prod fixes and fixing AI bugs. There is that. At least we have a job. Still a developer even if you don't write the code. Developing a solution, technically you're not a coder and probably not a programmer in the strictest sense of the word. If we're using the word to develop, yes, I suppose so. You are right there. But I take I do not feel any attachment to what is produced. This is a wholly produced AI application, right? This is my game library. This is 100% AI, no hand coding at all in this, right? I can scroll through my collection. I can see game details. I can link game details. I can create shelves of games, etc. I can get the reviews off these things, right? None of this is me. And I just don't have any attachment to it. It's just a tool now. At least human shader code seems to vastly outperform AI for now, so I got that at least. Yeah, you can tweak on things. You can still improve the performance there because it's not focused in that way. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's a challenging world, and Keith, I don't disagree that our job has evolved. I just don't Oh, I don't like it. I work in AG Tech where we were working on market segment. We had a whole bunch that's managing water districts and farmers and water usage, power usage, pump station, pipe networks, etc. And I've spent a bunch of time with hydrology people, power people, and come up with ways to visualize all the data, optimize it, etc., etc. Nice. So, I mean, I guess it just comes down to I don't want to sit there and verify what something else has done. That's not why I became a developer. If one's job as a software developer is QA, what else can they do in this terrible job market? I guess they have no choice. Nagasaki, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the reality of what we face right this second, right? Is the our job that seemed, 10 years ago seemed pretty certain as an industry, um, has evolved like other industries have, and we have to change to adapt. Um, the encoder should be capable of providing that what YouTube and Netflix needs. If I can provide that, then I have a B2B customer already. Customer, you're going to need a reliable distributed encoder. Nice. If you're waiting for someone to tell you what to build and then want someone else to verify it, that job is gone now. Fair enough. I'll provide my own licensed content at some point, so I need the encoder for myself too to ensure reliable streaming. There you go. Yeah, it's it's a strange world in which we live. Um, I'm glad you have been able to adapt, but I still take joy from this. This is what I love doing. It's what I've enjoyed doing since I was young, and I realize that the world has changed a lot. But at the same time, uh, still have to be responsible for the output and own what is produced, and that's harder and harder if you can't control it. In teams, that is something that I definitely fear. As the software grows, as the software changes, what's the point in frameworks? What's the point in things like that? How do we evolve those things if people aren't paying attention to them anymore? I mean, Linus Torvalds, who was okay with AI, um, is now lamenting the amount of AI PRs that are just adding um, noise. So system design and architecture is still important. You need to put all kinds of guidance in and guardrails. Right. So for you and I, for most of us in here who have an experience, right? Um, we know what it's like to code. We know what it's like to build software. What happens to that skill set? I've already seen what happens when people stop paying attention, and it happens quick. Those skills degrade very quickly. How do you do system design and architecture in 5 years' time when no one's actually doing any coding anymore? We're just reliant upon what the systems in the past have produced. Do we just hope that some people hold out and still take the time to design these things and build these things? How do we keep that skill set moving forward when there's no skill set being encouraged? If I mean, um, if we are telling juniors, "Hey, just use the tools and just go verify that it does what you say it's going to do," at what point do they learn architecture? What point do they learn about system design properly? I've seen in recent times what how different schooling is preparing people, and they're not even for coding. That's not really happened. They're not understanding what it is to build software. They're learning what it is to, oh, this is a language and this is a database, etc. They're not learning the tools in school on how to build software. Those things have traditionally happened with experience, which is why we have junior, senior, etc. As kind of phases through our career. But when they're not even learning how to do the coding, they're not learning how to do designing. Um, I think there's still a foundation you need to understand before you actually start using the tools to go faster. I still think you need to understand what it is being that's being produced. If we're just saying, okay, here's the tool, I want you to create a screen and do this, right? And it will do it. It will do it pretty well overall, assuming you understand what you're asking for. When you don't understand what you're asking for, or how or how it should work, you're leaving it totally down to it to understand what you mean. And yeah, we don't all speak the same English or the same language. So I use English there as an example to say we say things very differently. Not necessarily that everyone should speak English. Um, yeah, I do have a fear for what systems design and architecture looks like in a world where no one's learned how to code. Also, what happens if the costs go too high? Because the cost to us is ever growing. The cost of hardware is still increasing. I'm seeing a computer that cost $1,700 3 months ago, cost $2,700 for the same exact spec 3 months later. We're seeing, you know, uh, our costs change drastically. What happens when the cost of using the AI accelerates to the point where it's actually an elite tool and not an everyday tool uh, for development side of things? What happens if they do that to businesses? Small businesses can't compete anymore. Well, that kind of temper has been lasting for about a year now, and that's even, I mean, even throughout, you know, um, pandemic years, we still recovered quicker than that. It's been growing, and it's not looking like it's getting better because manufacturing isn't switching to anything other than producing for data centers. So we'll see. Uh, branch deleted. It's the branch, not pull request. The branch. I think this is an interpretation thing rather than a. Yeah. So what I'm trying to figure out right this second is how I want to interpret. Hey Tommy, how you doing? Doing good. Not sure if you grew up when the internet went from Usenet, email, telnet, etc., but it took 10 years from maybe late '80s to mid '90s to infiltrate. They burst again in 2000. Yeah, I'm 46. So, so I didn't really play with Usenet, etc. early on, but I started using the internet in the mid '90s. So I saw the evolution. Good, good. Yeah, I know of it. I do not. Yeah. But I don't think. I think um, looking at my app right now, should be doing actual work effort. Yeah, real work can wait till late. All right. Midnight is when people were rushing in, kind of like now. Then it became normality. Um, I know if they don't figure out how to get the cost down though, the power costs, the pricing model to be more reasonable. Um, and I think yeah, again, if they develop ASICs or they develop um, hardware that we can run at home to get reasonable local models, yeah, it becomes a more feasible technology. My fear is though that if it becomes too expensive, companies won't be able. Smaller companies. I mean, even now, I'm looking at using AI tools, and it's a big part of my available budget to be able to equip the developers with AI tools. And if they go to a per token model, those costs are a little bit less manageable. So how do I juggle that for my team? So GitHub connection receiver, GitHub task branch receiver. I mean, I have a friend who's spending a lot of time researching and learning more about how to run the tools. Dev cost plus AI cost per month, even at the more expensive end, not a lot compared to the dev. Well, that's the fear that I mean, right now, a Claude Teams license. So you're looking at like $1,200 a year for Claude Teams per developer or per user, which yeah is much cheaper. But if they can't sustain that model and they change to per like token batch, you have to really tighten down. You have to change all your practices on how people are using the tokens properly. Otherwise, you have runaway costs. I myself just using Claude for building the front end for this application and some tinkering. I've only used in my entire um, year of using Claude, I've only used 6 million tokens. My friend, who is doing a lot with it to try and get things moving forward, has already used 45 million tokens in the last 3 months. if they change that model, that pricing model, that cost goes up. So they have to lower that cost. Like you say, I think local models are yeah, yeah. So yes, yeah. Talk about maybe. So if they change the token based um, a birthday post, as in your birthday, 130 million token. Wow, 1 year today. Congratulations. Congratulations. Haven't followed maybe before. I'll watch maybe streams. Maybe develops Barely Fit, which is 1 year old today. Congratulations. It's a health and fitness app, tracking your exercise and your food, and it's a really great application. Those $200 a month subscriptions seem a bargain when compared to developer salaries. Absolutely. I have unlimited enterprise, so the company pays whatever I use. Yeah. Nagasaki, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. If anyone's interested in continuing the conversations, by the way, off stream, there is a Discord linked in the cards below. You're more than welcome to join in. I'm open to discussion, regardless of how abrasive I might seem on some of the topics. Um, I think the only way I learn is or change my way of thinking is by making sure I take in the opinions. Um, yeah, I spend $100 a month on Claude. Um, uh, Hey, bro. I wish Restream worked properly. I really don't notice the chat in YouTube. I spend the same on Claude. It's worth it for me. I probably am. I'm not getting my money's worth out of $100. Well, I use it for quite a lot of stuff. Um, what I've really, what I've really benefited from with Claude is actually going back to the conversation, Keith, about the architecture and design stuff. Is actually understanding more and getting more in depth on the tools that I do want to use. Um, um, yeah, I was careful with usage this month, and I'm at 397 right now. Yeah, it's. I just hope we hit the point soon of the is it commoditized or the hardware where we have a um, it's more accessible as a technology. If we hit that point and everything becomes normalized again, so we're not spending $1,000 on 2 terabytes of storage or whatever it is. I know that's an exaggeration, but yeah. So we have merged that task pull requests. So we've won. If a branch has a pull request, then we should show it. What is determining? It's yeah. It's linked in the cards below. Nothing wants to work anymore. I used to have a Streamlabs bot running, but that stopped working. It's the what's it called? Giving you crap about the stream configuration. hard to know, but one would hope we use AI to leverage better hardware development. We get a lot of progress there, though it's tricky using AI for electronics at the moment. It's getting better. If you encode stuff into language, it works well. She knows a month to breathe. Not far off. Does that work now? There you go. Just forgot to turn Streamlabs on because you apparently have to log into that dashboard as well now. This this one button to click and go streaming is not happening anymore. So what I'm trying to do right this second is I need to actually it's on the view side of things. Actually at the view level. This is the design I need to change eventually. Task branch. Tommy, you don't have link access, I'm afraid. You PM me the link, I can paste it. Sorry, the stream might not be uh, uh, nice. Morning, Mr. Anhon. How you doing? So I think I don't want a branch that has had a merge done. Has to open new PR. So if we have, I'm just going to GitHub to go to that test branch, test repo to see what. Nope, not that one. Sorry. Testing else integration. Pull requests. Test new, open new PR. Right. So this branch I want to delete now. And that stupid AI credit usage and my token usage will cost the company 1.7K. Verify to. Oh, that's not that one. Oh, ouch. Test open new PR. Where's this one? Delete branch. If we delete that, I don't want that to disappear. This one, I'm okay with it disappearing because if the branch has been deleted and it was a closed PR, I don't care about the deleted branch. So that one we know will disappear. This one I don't want to disappear. It's merged. So, come on, wakey, wakey. They deleted it. They removed it. What I'm going to determine right this second is it because I do have some filtering on the client because it was way easier than trying to do it on the server at this point. So if I do copy String contents. Nitro. I'm on more job, by the way. I apologize. I did not mean to ignore you. You get a little wave right in the middle of that. Back and forth. Okay, so we do that. Maybe two branches, pull requests. It's not that one though. That's that one. We're looking for vary three. There you go. There's vary three. Closed, closed. I give it a task it could not complete and need to register a domain in the info without a proxy to get it, picked up by another, but it can't be proxied, but the URL would not work unless it proxied, it was stuck in catch 22. But would it not be able to validate that? It was smart enough it just couldn't. So it knew it, but it couldn't escape. Fair enough. Fair enough. Pull requests. So vary two branches. The heck? So I have two PRs against that one branch. That's interesting. Then I have the one branch coming down, so the branch is there. So I need to modify it to be if the branch is deleted and there's no PR, I can see it's deep thinking, say, oh, I can do that. Yeah, ouch. Ouch. And say it can't do it. Just go back and forth. I kind of learned that giving it enough details to validate its own work might be a problem. Ah. I do think the test of this stuff will be with teams that are made up entirely of people who've never actually done development. Like, what does that really look like? And it's going to look fine for a while. I just think when no one's actually done real development, like true full vibe coded organizations, how they function after the hype is settled. Let's say it can't do it, and just go back and forth. I kind of learned that giving it enough details to find it. Yeah. So sorry, I reread the same thing. I think that's going to be an interesting phase of all this. Yeah. I mean, I don't I don't see any time in our history in the technology, in the specific technology history, that this sort of thing has happened to this level. Dot com boom was well, it was a boom, but it was an interesting time. But I don't feel that that was the same as this. Writing code is not the problem we have to really solve. It's all the pain around it. Yeah. Well, I'm not just talking just from a coding perspective. I'm talking about an understanding perspective. Like, how do we solve the problems that we often reinvent wheels? We often discover the fact, that every organization I've been in has hit some point of the same realizations hit at some point, like the communication or the process, and we end up with. Um, I saw your post, yeah. We end up with oh, we need a meeting for this, or we need to have a process for this. Um, yeah, I don't know. My brain hurts. Hey, your wheel was under your patio. Was it decorative wooden wheel that? I saw the picture briefly. What I'm trying to figure out right this second is uh, I want a so because I've deleted the branch. Oh, grindstone. Nice, nice. You don't really know. You need process till something goes wrong. That is why good engineers will be discussed in the future. Yeah, I think a good measure of an organization is an organization that doesn't put process in for process sake and understands how to balance it. Uh, yeah, I am interested to see. Well, yeah, what happens next, basically. I'm not nearly enough close to retirement to be able to be comfortable at this point, so I'm opposite that. A good process in place up front, even if it adds friction, is sometimes good. I think I'm okay with adaptation. I think adaptation is the right way to do some things because you have to, you sometimes when you put a process in place, adhering to that too strictly because you didn't think about the side effects or the problems often leads to its own set of tensions and people getting around things. Um, uh, but yeah, just gotta. There's a balance. I'm okay with process. Process makes sense. Yeah, most won't know why that needs to be in place. I don't think I can help with that. No. Uh, what do I want to do here? I want to. There's no direct query here, which means it's all in the view. Class branches. Ah, shouldn't deal with that. So that will only show open branches, which means that the tasks. Yes. Our old dev team had no CI/CD, and they see me put it in place for the new infra, and they put it in place after they worked with it once in the new system. They didn't even know code could be set like that. And that was before AI. Yeah, CI/CD is a an important step. Smoothing out the development process, smoothing out the entire process of how do we deploy the application is is valuable. I'm debating right this second how I want to pivot this. I'm debating. I think what I want to do is I want to remove the deleted flag from the pull requests. No, pull requests being deleted. That's task branches, right? Modify view. No, task branches is the one I want to modify. I want to remove the deleted from there. So we'll just remove that in a second. It'll give me a whole lot more. Now when I run that, get that one and that one. State closed. State merged. I want the deleted at on there as well now. Do I have deleted that as a field? Dang. So if I view, there's a lot of things going on with this piece, particularly right this second, that are not ideal because they are um, I'm not sure there. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to say, okay, well, the branch has been deleted, but it's also been merged, right? So we should see a green one here that we can indicate the branch has been deleted, but it is a merged branch to give more visualization to that aspect. I'm just trying to tidy up this piece. What I want to do is I don't want to go too far down the path of dictating what this screen should show, because I really do want to get this deployed, and that's one of the things I'm going to be considering over the next couple of weeks is how do I deploy this to somewhere reasonable that isn't going to cost me, hundreds a month, um, but deploy it somewhere and then allow those who want to test it to test it. Affiliate anniversary. Jigsaw, thank you. What? Has it been 7 years? Is it really? Like, wow. Uh, settings, stream. Oh, tomorrow. But it's celebrating today. Celebrate your third anniversary, May 29th, with your community. So it's set to today. But yes. Wow. 7 years ago. I'll say, Keith, if you're still around, by the way, thank you very much. I realize you haven't been in here very much, but or chatted very much, but you also have been around for a very long time. You've been here since 2019. Mr. Anhorn, of course. 7 years. Oof, that's crazy. Okay. So with that done, now when we refresh that screen, here's of RTFM. Exactly. Never got better. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, it's that error in now. No. I deleted that. Refresh the schema. Column delete that does not exist. Oh, that's a problem. Okay. Column delete that does not exist. Okay, fair enough. Did that just not take? Is that what the problem is? Yeah, that didn't take. Hold on. TV dot deleted. That should work a bit differently now. There you go. Okay. There we go. Okay. So now we have all our branches back. We need to when a branch. What I want to do eventually here is I want to pivot a little bit of how I'm tackling this data because right now I'm actually pushing it down to the client and making the client decide what it's showing. I want to filter that down. Obviously, I don't need to see branches that have been deleted and don't have any PRs. The client client. Um, if a branch if a branch has a deleted date, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show it cross through for right this second, and the tag will show. So if it's closed and the branch is deleted, then we just know that it was closed and there was a branch and it was deleted, but the PR was closed. If there was no PR and it's been deleted, then it wouldn't show at all because the branch doesn't matter at that point. Right? That's what we'll finish up with today. Wow. Normally, I'm on top of the affiliate anniversary. I don't know why it didn't tell me that. Um, Sadly, I do not have a window to stream in to stream for longer, etc. In the past, I've taken the day off, or I've managed to land on a day off, but yeah, fortunately, it's not happening today. So, wow, 7 years. Thank you for all those of you that have been around and hung around the stream and supported the stream. Was was the 29th. So tomorrow, technically. So I have to stream tomorrow. I don't think I have anything to stream tomorrow. To be honest, until I get this GitHub stuff tidied up, I don't even know what I'm working on next on Kaizu, to be honest. I've actually I was enjoying playing games last weekend. That was a lot of fun. I could do a game stream tomorrow, but that's on a different channel. Um, Lego Batman, by the way, is a lot of fun. I do enjoy it. There's a lot of stuff to get done in that game. A lot of stuff. Um, yeah, I've got to do some planning on this to really identify what I'm doing next, or what the point is at which I'm going to release this to the rabble. I think, yeah, but let's. So I'm just going to let this finish up, and then I'll wrap it up. Um, yes, yes, and I'll see Stony starting to stream up. Has anyone tried 007 First Light, by the way? Has anyone looked at that? That looks that looks good. There we go. Okay, so now this close pull request but an open branch, though, is that correct? So there, delete. That's merged. That's crossed out. That's delete. That's closed and deleted. That looks good. I like this. I'm okay with this. Let's validate that. So verify vary three, vary two branches. Is that still an open branch with a closed PR? Uh, that's no, you're wrong. But that's because I messed up the delete of that. That's believable. Um, I'm so glad Manny. Thank you very much. It's a nice first time chat. Hope you're well. So okay, so that's I'm going to leave that down to just a data discrepancy of trying to line up these events properly as I've been testing and not or whatnot. And that's going to be I'm going to have to figure out how to create a stable system. There you go. Thank you, maybe. So yeah, task tracker site. A little bit more than task tracking. So this is Kaizu. This is my project management and planning application, which at this point seems woefully out of date. Uh, there's no AI in it yet. So the idea is that you build initiatives. Initiatives are a uh, an idea, a concept, a thing that you want to build out. You then go into planning out by building out deliverables, and deliverables are then uh, built out as requirements and acceptance criteria. From deliverables, you move to implementation, where you can review those deliverables as a team, as a development team, and you can then task uh, those things out as a set of technical tasks. Uh, you can work through them. You can have branches, etc., against them. Uh, you can right now a Kanban board, not a full sprint board. You can work through those tasks and uh, then handling delivery, so we can prepare a release, and releases can have tasks in them. And now, what I'm working on right this second is the ability to see the state of any PRs. So whoever's the uh, the owner of this release, the coordinator, we'll say, is then responsible for making sure all the PRs and stuff are ready to say the release is ready. And that's kind of Kaizu in a nutshell. No, this is Angular um, and a .NET backend uh, with a lot of. Show you the diagram. This is your first time joining me. Uh, Overview. So this is Kaizu, Control Tower, and Liquid Sky. Liquid Sky is the piece I'm primarily working on, but Kaizu is the product. This is an overview of what Kaizu is actually doing. So this piece is an Angular client, a lot of .NET backends, MongoDB and Postgres databases, SignalR, GraphQL, you know, technology playground. So yeah, and if anyone who's watching, if you have more questions, if you have thoughts, opinions, etc., you're always welcome to share them. There is a Discord linked in the cards below on both YouTube and on Twitch. You are more than welcome to join the Discord if you want to learn more about why I'm doing this, or you want to share your own projects, you want to ask questions on stuff. The Discord is always there and always open, no matter where you are in your journey. Yeah, more than welcome to join and hang out and chat. So it's not usable. It's not usable yet. What I'm doing now is trying to get this to a point where I think that it's um, that I'm able to use it properly in its current form. I've made a lot of changes over the last 6 months to this. Um, I think it's very close. I think once I can mark a release as completed um, and tag it, then I think that's uh, a good phase to say, yep, we can release this and have people play with it. I do have a lot of ideas on how to do things with it. I'm not being completely ignorant to the idea of AI. That is definitely on my list. But yeah, but this is Kaizu. Tony, thank you. Okay. However, unfortunately, I do not get paid for streaming. I do not get well. I earn off subs, but that's not what. I've been working on this for about 2 years. I took a 5 month break at the end of last year. Completely stopped working on it. But I've been working on it on streams and somewhat offline for the last 2 years. This version of the front end is pretty much pure AI driven. I've developed the front end, redeveloped the front end using AI. I developed the original version completely from scratch by hand. So the design is still there, but right now it's all AI coded on the front end, but the back end is completely hand coded. Um, so yeah, It's a large, it's a lot of projects. It's probably not the most ideal design, but it is a design I've worked with. So a lot of Kafka, a lot of distributed components to it, a lot of events going on, a lot of concepts. So yeah, yeah. Well, front end is not my forte. Back end is my forte. Back end is where I love things. So it's a decision I made to make sure that I could at least go a little faster with this project because I'm not focusing on where a button goes. I can handle all those things cleanly. Um, Irish Rover, hello, welcome in. AI is pretty good at cranking out modern UIs with the minimal applications needed. Don't ask them to write logic though. Eh, again, we'll have a lot of debate and discussion over how things um, how good AI is many times over. It's done pretty well overall on the front end. I've made sure to make sure that I specify if it like get the design in place so it knows what a design should look like at this point. I've been refining my skill set with how to make sure that it's consistent, that it highlights if I'm asking it to do something that doesn't fit with other screens. Um, if it introduces technologies, that it should be consistent and it should be documenting those for me so that I understand how they work and not just it's magic. Um, I really use every time I'm using AI recently, I'm using it as an opportunity to try and understand how I might use the tools effectively to go quicker while at the same time still being in control of what's being produced, which is a big thing for me. I don't like the idea of just letting it loose. But yeah, Marcy, hello. But unfortunately, it's 8:43. I am running out of time quick. I start work in 15 minutes and I need to be ready for that. So we are going to have to raid out, I'm afraid. Again, thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for coming and hanging out. Nice one. There you go. Okay. So as he has started, we will go and raid Stony. If you like hanging out and um, chatting in relaxing streams, um, I would highly recommend checking out Frank. He streams on Wednesdays and Fridays right now, and it's just a good place to go and hang out. He's a .NET developer. He does use some AI stuff. He's been doing his 2D6 board game stuff. Um, I recommend checking out Frank. But anyway, thank you very much for joining me. Let's go raid Stony because he started his stream up. Nice. I will be back next week. I don't think I can stream tomorrow. Um, and hopefully I'll get a little bit more done on this to get the complete release done. And yeah, so thank you very much. Yeah, bonjour. That's always fun to hear. So thank you all. Take care. I'll see you next time.